Hey there, y'all! I'm Avery, and today I've got a What's for Dinner video for y'all. I'm going to show you all the dinners that we ate this past week. We is myself and my boyfriend, and a couple things to note. We are not following any specific diet or counting calories, but we are trying to eat at least 2 seafood meals and 1 vegetarian meal per week. We also have a starter salad every night to make sure we get our veggies in, so you will see that as we move through the video. I'll leave all the recipes that I used in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment. That would make my day if you left me a comment, and let me get right into the video. I've been trying to make the most of all the ingredients I buy, so we got these hamburger buns for some sandwiches we had yesterday, and I'm going to use these to make my own panko breadcrumbs. So I'm just going to break these up into small pieces and dry them out in the oven. The extra breadcrumbs I'm putting in a jar. It says you can save them for 3 months, and I'm feeling pretty stupid for ever buying breadcrumbs before, so I'll be doing this from now on. I need mayo for the crab cakes and for the tartar sauce that I'm going to make to go with them, and the easiest way that I found to make mayonnaise is just to add 2 parts of avocado oil or another neutral flavored oil. So for this, I'm going to add half a cup. Then I'm going to add 1 part milk, so 1/4 cup, and then just a little splash of apple cider vinegar, and then any seasonings that I want to add to it, I'm just going to do after I've emulsified it with my immersion blender. I'm going to add a few ingredients to my little mini chopper here. This is just a cheap one I got on Amazon. It's manual, and you just pull on it to chop the veggies up small. This is the crab that I'm going to use. I've never tried this one before. I'm just going to squeeze out any excess moisture.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
I'm going to make a tartar sauce to dip our crab cakes in. I have 2 ears of corn on the cob here. I'm just going to boil them in a pot with some sugar and lemon juice, and then I'll top them with butter and black pepper. I have some red potatoes that I've just coated in avocado oil, salt, pepper, and a little garlic powder. I'm going to roast these in the oven at 400 for about 45 minutes. For our starter salad tonight, we're going to have an arugula salad, and it's going to have feta cheese, some toasted almonds, and then I'm going to get an orange, and my boyfriend's going to get nectarine. It's meant to be served with nectarine, but I can't have it due to allergies. For the dressing for our starter salad tonight, I'm just going to blend up some basil, extra virgin olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt, and pepper. We're about to eat these starter salads and just topped it with that homemade balsamic basil vinaigrette. Here's my dinner for tonight. It's the crab cakes, tartar sauce, roasted potatoes, and corn on the cob. Tonight we are having garlic shrimp crostini for dinner. I've just peeled and deveined some wild-caught shrimp here. I've sliced up cloves of garlic, some parsley, and here I have a mixture of lemon juice and some caper brine. I'm going to use salt and red pepper and some butter, and I'm then going to also slice up some of this French bread and toast it, and I'm going to serve the shrimp on top of the bread. Now, the recipe does say to start cooking the shrimp and then add the salt after a minute of cooking, but I like to add the salt first just because I don't want to get my hands burned with the hot oil once the shrimp are already in the pan. So I'm going to get those cooking up in the bread toasting in the toaster oven. I love this little kitchen tool that'll tell me how hot the surface temperature of the pan is, and that lets me know when the shrimp's ready to put in because I know that it's hot enough. We are going to have our garlic shrimp with a side of broccoli tonight, and this is my favorite way to prepare broccoli. I just smashed up 1 garlic clove, put in a couple slices of lemon and a bay leaf. I'm going to take my steamer basket, and I do kind of need a steamer basket, but that's okay. And once I'm going to bring that water to a boil, and then I'll add the broccoli in, cover it with a lid, and cook it for about 5 minutes. The broccoli just got done steaming. What I did is I just took it out of the steamer basket and then drained it and put it back to the pan, and I'm just going to add a little bit of butter. You don't want too much, it'll make it soggy. I'm going to season with salt and pepper and a little bit of lemon juice, and then this will be ready. For our starter salad tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to have a wedge salad, and I'm just cooking up some bacon here that I'm going to crumple on top of that. And then in the meantime, I'm going to make the dressing for the wedge salad, and I just made a quick little bit of mayonnaise here just by blending up some avocado oil, milk, and apple cider vinegar. That's what's right here. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that. This is just some milk that I added just a little bit of white vinegar to make a buttermilk because I didn't have buttermilk. I'm going to add those with some sour cream and then some of these blue cheese crumbles and then some white wine vinegar, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little monk fruit that I'm going to use in place of sugar. Here is the completed wedge salad for tonight. It's just the head of iceberg lettuce with the blue cheese dressing, tomatoes, green onions, crumpled blue cheese, and some bacon. Here's our finished dinner, the shrimp crostini with a side of broccoli. Well, this just happened. I had meal prepped some ketchup and I just shattered it all over the floor. I need 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and since I just completely destroyed my ketchup that I had made, I'm going to do a quick little substitute. I have 1 date in here that I'm just soaking in some warm water, and I'm just going to blend that up with 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, a small splash of apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of salt. Tonight we're having Salisbury steak for dinner, and here I just have the quick ketchup that I just showed you that I made. I've got some grass-fed ground beef, some breadcrumbs. The recipe calls for almond flour, but I didn't have that, so I'm just going to use the breadcrumbs I made the other day, some seasonings, coconut aminos, tamari, an egg, some Dijon mustard, salt, and pepper. And I'm just going to mix all this up, and then I'm going to form it into probably 3 or 4 patties.
Yeah, I got a question.
This Band-Aid is from when I broke the ketchup, by the way. I also sliced my finger, so fun times. Now that I've got the patties seared, it's time to get going on the gravy. So I'm going to cook some onions and mushrooms in a little bit of butter with some garlic. Then I'm going to add a little bit more of the coconut aminos and tamari soy sauce, some arrowroot flour to thicken it up. This is a paleo option to use instead of regular all-purpose flour, and then some beef broth. And this is the one I really like. What I like about it is it doesn't have any sugar added, and also they list out all the ingredients, so I'm not allergic to anything, and it's all organic. So this is a great option if you've not tried this one. And since it's the bone broth, it's got some extra added health benefits, which is good for my arthritis. We're having green beans on the side with our Salisbury steak tonight, so I'm just boiling these, and I do mine for about 7 minutes. I like them a little bit softer, and then what I'm going to do is actually remove them and cook them in the pan with some butter and garlic, and then once I do that, I'm going to season them with some salt and lemon peppers. Can't have Salisbury steak without some mashed potatoes, so I've got some diced up potatoes in this pot. I started in cold water with lots of salt. I'm just going to bring it up to a boil and let it cook for about 15 minutes until I can pierce the potatoes with a fork. I also melted some butter, about 1/4 cup of butter, and a little bit of half and half in here, and I'm going to get that warm in the microwave. Once these are done, I'm going to drain them, mash them with my potato masher, and then add the warm butter and milk. For our starter salad tonight, we're just having another wedge salad. Tonight's dinner is Salisbury steak on mashed potatoes with garlic green beans. Tonight we're having BLT pasta salad for dinner, and it's going to be topped with a little bit of chicken breast. I'm going to start by making the dressing, which is just going to be these 2 avocados, the juice of 1 lemon, some garlic. I didn't have quite enough Greek yogurt as the recipe called for, so I'm going to use a little bit of leftover mayo that I had from the other night, a little bit of oil, and then some salt and pepper. And then here, the recipe called for buttermilk ranch mix, and I don't have that. So I just got a couple spices here and got some milk and just put a tiny bit of vinegar in it to make a makeshift buttermilk, and I'm just going to use that.
Yeah, I got a question.
Gonna cook some bacon for the BLT pasta salad tonight, and I'm just gonna put these in the oven at 400 for about 18 minutes. In this pot, I'm just cooking some banza noodles according to the package directions. Those are the chickpea noodles where you get extra protein and fiber, and they're much more filling. And a tip that I have for this is that normally when you're going to cook pasta, you want it to be al dente. So like on here, it says cook it 9 to 11 minutes. So normally you'd cook that for 9 minutes. Well, with this banza pasta, you actually kind of want to do the opposite. You want to cook it for the longer amount of time I recommend. So I'm going to cook mine for 11 minutes. Now, while that's cooking, I've also chopped up some garlic and tomatoes. I have salt and pepper, and I'm just going to cook those for about a minute in this small pan with a tablespoon of olive oil. Here I've taken 1 chicken breast and I've just butterflied it. Normally for this meal, I use a full package of chicken breast and we both get a whole one, but we're trying to save money, so we're going to see if we're still full just eating half of the breast. So I'm just going to cook those probably for about maybe 3 to 4 minutes aside on medium-high on the pan, just until they're cooked through. Tonight's dinner is a BLT pasta salad with some pan-seared chicken. For our vegetarian meal tonight, we're just going to do pizza, and that's because last week this almond flour pizza dough mix was on sale at Whole Foods. It has some really cool paleo ingredients, and I'm hoping this is going to be filling enough. I'm hoping the almond flour will make it a bit more filling, so we're going to use that. Toppings, we've got red onions, green bell peppers, red bell peppers, mushrooms, and some olives. And actually, funny enough, neither of us, myself or my boyfriend, actually like olives, but I want us to like olives because that's just so convenient, nice to have another food to eat. It's healthy, so I'm trying to add a little bit of olives and maybe kind of get us acquired to the taste of them. I'm going to make a quick pizza sauce. I'm just going to put some tomato sauce in this measuring cup and add some garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, and salt. And then I'm going to top the whole pizza with some red pepper flakes as well. And then we've got our mozzarella and our Parmesan. Our starter salad tonight is some mixed greens with some green cabbage, red cabbage, carrots, radish, cucumber, a little bit of broccoli, some toasted almonds, and I'm just going to top it with the extra avocado ranch dressing that we had from last. Here's our pizza for tonight. I did have some problems getting the pizza off the pan. I think I pressed it down a little too hard, but we finally got it. We are having fish tostadas tonight, and that's basically going to be a crispy corn tortilla. I'm going to crisp this up in the oven, some cod, going to make some guacamole with these avocados, a little bit of tomato, some onion, lime juice. This is a little bit of red and green cabbage. I'm just going to make a little slaw situation with the lime juice. Here I've got a mixture of mayo and sour cream that I'm going to mix with some chipotle and adobo seasoning to make a spicy mayo situation. We've got cilantro, and then I'm going to serve it with a side of refried beans that are going to have some jalapeno in it. Tonight's salad is pretty similar to last night, but no cabbage since we're going to have that on our tostada, and I also added some celery. Tonight's dinner is fish tostadas with spicy mayo, guacamole, tomatoes, cabbage slaw, cilantro, and a side of refried beans. Tonight we are having ramen noodle stir fry for dinner, and I'm just starting out by prepping my protein. So I had one chicken breast that I just cubed, and then I just made a quick marinade. I didn't even bother measuring. I just did about a tablespoon of avocado oil, tablespoon of rice vinegar, tablespoon of soy sauce, little drizzle of sesame oil, and 1 grated clove of garlic. So I have that marinating, and then I'm going to soft boil my eggs. And all I'm going to do is bring a pot of water to a boil. Then once it's boiling, I'll add the eggs, cook them for 6.5 minutes, and then remove them to an ice water bath. And to reheat them, I'm just going to pour some boiling water over them right before we want to eat. Now that my chicken's been marinating for like 45 minutes, I'm going to cook it on medium-high just until it's cooked through. Then I've also chopped up the veggies that I'm going to use. I've got some carrots, bell peppers, and onions sliced into small strips, and some broccoli florets. I'm going to stir fry those on medium-high as well. And then I'm also going to cook these ramen noodles according to the package directions. It's time to make the sauce, so I grated up some ginger, some sliced garlic, and I'm going to cook those in some oil until fragrant, and then I also cut up some green onions that I'm going to use at the very end. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 2 tablespoons of this sambal olive chili paste. This is basically just sriracha without the sugar added. Here's the ingredients if you want to know. And once I add those, basically I'm going to right now make a mixture of some chicken broth, some soy sauce that I'm going to mix with coconut aminos. And coconut aminos, it's basically made from coconuts, and it's a soy-free alternative to soy sauce. And the reason I like to use some of that is because of the sodium content. So this is actually reduced sodium tamari, but it has 700 milligrams of sodium per tablespoon, whereas the coconut aminos only has 270 milligrams per tablespoon. I'm also going to add some rice vinegar, sesame oil, a little bit of honey, and that's it. Our starter salad tonight is mixed greens with some purple cabbage, cucumbers, radish, celery, and some green bell peppers, topped with sunflower seeds, and we finally killed off the last of that avocado ranch dressing that lasted a lot longer than I expected. Tonight's dinner is ramen noodle stir fry with chicken and a soft-boiled egg. That's all I have for y'all today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment if you did. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember that you're beautiful in your own way.